I think we started the Friday Night Pep Rally here on Riverside TV. I was already going through the scores here to see what happened tonight. We had a bunch of games, Jeff, here in week one because, week zero, I would say about 2/3 to 3/4 of all the teams play in week zero.
Yes.
But by week one, we're all playing. Everybody's playing. And we had a huge slate of games tonight. And I was just going through some of the scores. I'm kind of surprised by some of the finals that we saw coming in.
Because, every single year, the first couple games, there's mistakes. There's guys that are kind of finding their way. But, yes, there are some big, big upsets tonight.
I know. So we got a ton of scores, a ton of highlights to get to. We had a couple games live on Riverside TV earlier tonight. One of them was North and Poly. We're going to get that one in just a moment. A little bit later in the show, highlights of CSDR taking on Foothills Christian. Highlights of that from as well because there was a live doubleheader on Riverside TV tonight. And you were at this one right here, right? Big Riverside rivalry game.
I was at the big rivalry game between John W. North and Riverside Poly. Poly playing their first game of the year. They had a scrimmage in week zero, and North, of course, had a tough one against Ramona last week.
All right, so we're going to get to the highlights. I just want our director, Jason, back there to know that we don't see any video out here. So if you roll the highlights, we're not going to be able to see it or when it goes up. But if you want to go to that first game, we can. Arlington against Ramona tonight, which, Jeff, going into this game, that was actually a really good contest because they both won their week zero game.
They did, and the biggest surprise, honest to goodness for me, was Arlington. Arlington, I wasn't too sure what they were going to have. They've been running the smash mouth football for the last couple of years. They kind of took it from Norte Vista, it got them to the CIF championship that year. But we know Coach Argamosa is a man who can do it all, and he's adjusted his offense, and they have a pretty darn good quarterback.
Yeah, they do at Arlington,
yeah,
right?
Arlington really is a big surprise. And Ramona, that's their big rivalry just down the street. Remember, they were playing all their home games at Ramona High School, but now Arlington finally has their own stadium.
All right, so before we get to the highlights, so I don't think they've rolled them yet. Yeah. But for Ramona, I almost feel like it's a broken record because I remember saying last year, they lost a lot of great players. How do they bounce back?
18 players last year.
Yeah, and then what do? They go all the way and win a CIF Southern Section Championship. They win a state championship. And here I am sitting like a broken record saying, wow, how do they come back after that? How do they bounce back after that season, that great team they had last year?
Well, I'll tell you what, it boils down to the foundation. And Coach Ken Mashinsky, he does a great job with his teams. They tackle well. And it starts from the freshman level, JV level, to the varsity level. They're building players. They're getting better every single season. And like I said, the foundation has been fantastic.
All right, so it's going to be Arlington and Ramona. Ramona winning this game 37-19 was the final. Sincere Tolbert, the running back, who, Jeff, I believe he did not play in week zero. Yeah, there's the score, 37-19. I don't think he played in week zero.
He did not.
So this was his maiden voyage in 2024. Your boy, Sincere Tolbert, who I know you're a huge fan of, and so am I, 220 rushing yards in that win for the Rams.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he was phenomenal last year. It took him a while. The first couple games we had on Riverside TV is he was kind of finding his way. He was following the footsteps of Bo Bruins. Bo Bruins was, a superstar. And it took him a while to get going, but once he did, Sincere Tolbert made that his team and took over that spot.
Yeah, so in the highlights that you just saw, of course, quarterback Cody Shiner, right, for the Ramona Rams.
Very athletic. Really, he's
great baseball player as well, right?
Yeah, he's like Sean Figgins. Remember Sean Figgins that used to play for the Angels? He's a utility ball player. But yeah, what a wonderful talent he is, and Ramona is lucky to have him.
And strangely enough, you're not the first person to say Sean Figgins tonight.
No, I'm not. When was the last time Sean Figgins was mentioned twice in an evening anywhere? For gosh sakes.
Yeah, if you're good at a lot of different things, you're Sean Figgins. Yeah, our guy Kono running the audio tonight here on the Friday Night Pep Rally.
He's back. Our guy is back with us.
All right, so let's get to more scores and highlights. We can actually see what you're seeing now, so it's going to be a lot easier. The next game up on the rundown, another Riverside rivalry game right here. We had it live on Riverside TV. The Riverside Poly Bears taking on JW North. Get to the highlights here. Maddox Long, the fake punt. And it's going to be a Riverside Poly touchdown down the sideline. Bears 6-zip, Jeff.
65 yards, and it was Maddox Long. He was up 10-0. He was up 16-0. Maddox Long was that guy.
Then a field goal made it 10-zip, and then more Poly touchdowns there. That is Matthew Padilla. He made it 16-0. And Poly, it was all Poly in this one as they would pull away here on Riverside TV. 26-8 at that point. Bears hold on. 26-14. So this was their season opener tonight as the Huskies fall to 0-2.
Yeah, Calvin Rivers with the last-second touchdown to make that, a 12-point game. But I'll tell you what, Poly, after losing in that close CIF championship game to Ramona, they're going to play each other in week 4. Remember, we're going to have that game on Riverside TV as well. Jerron Gilbert's really has them going. They're playing well. They've got big receivers. I'm talking 6'2", 6'3" on both sides of the ball. On both sides of the field. I think Poly's going to be pretty darn good this season.
Yeah, I think so too. And remember, I know we talk so much about Ramona and that magical season that they had. Remember, Poly made it to the finals too. Like Poly made a great, playoff run to get to that championship game against Ramona. So don't sleep on the Bears out there.
And I will say this: the Bears defense really, really, really took care of business tonight. They really, Zavala, the quarterback, Bronson Hogue, they were on their heels all night long. They overpowered that North offensive line, which is something we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, because we even talked to Coach O.P. Vaipulu before the season began. We're like, where is 3rd and Chicago strong this season? Where are the Huskies going to be strong? And he said, up front, the offensive and defensive line, but really up front, those guys up front. So for Poly to match them, that was pretty significant in that win tonight for the Riverside Poly Bears. All right, our next game, and this was an epic saga. I hope you enjoy the longer highlights as Hillcrest was taking on Santiago. Come on, Jeff, try it. Come on.
Santiago.
Oh, get out of here.
I'll say Scott Morrison, my favorite head coach. That's been your thing. We've done this for 10 years, and I still cannot do it. I won't do it. I refuse to do it.
You just got to want it. Here we go. Sharks and Trojans out there at Norta Vista High School. First quarter, 3rd down, Hillcrest. Matt Ramos. And actually, no, there it is. Matt Ramos goes in for the touchdown there. And Santiago would answer back the other way. That's going to be Clayton Plew for the Santiago Sharks. This was actually kind of high scoring, kind of back and forth in this one. Ramos, he plays quarterback, Jeff, but he's a Sean Figgins, right? He can play everywhere.
He's like a wildcat guy.
He is. And Matt Ramos was all over the field. That looked like, let's see, Hillcrest takes over. It's going to be, Matt Ramos right up the middle, and he's going to go in for another Hillcrest touchdown in this one. Hillcrest back on offense. Ramos calls his own number, a little fake handoff there, squirts up the middle, and no one's going to get him. Ramos going in for another Trojans touchdown.
He is quicker than lightning. Look at that little guy. He is fun to watch.
All right, Santiago again. Little handoff here, and he'll counter up the middle and in for a touchdown. Credit to the Sharks. They battled. I know they've had a couple down seasons, and this is a very good Hillcrest team, but the Sharks battled the Trojans as that's going to be, let's see, number 1 for Hillcrest. Vinces in for the touchdown. Alfredo Vinces. And then Santiago again. That's going to be, I believe that's Clayton Plew in for the Sharks one more time as the two teams exchanged a couple touchdowns. 33-28 the final. We told you it got close at the end, but the Trojans hang on.
I will tell you this. Talking with Ken Batdorf today, he goes, I think Santiago is a very good ball team. He said the only problem is they just haven't won enough the last couple of years. They've had a turnover of coach. Bert Esposito was there last year, Morrison before that. But he says if they can learn to win and get over that hump, they could be very formidable. And Ken Batdorf said they look like a real ball club back to where we used to see Santiago years ago. But tip your cap off to Travis Carter. Carter does a great job. And, man, what a great quarterback he has. Don't know if he can throw yet because we've only seen the highlights. But he can run faster than anybody I've seen in a long time. So both very good teams. Hillcrest is going to do some damage.
Yeah, I know Julian Sandoval, star receiver for Hillcrest. So they've got receivers. They've got some guys. So we'll see how that plays out for Hillcrest. But they're supposed to be very, very good this year. And so far it's they're living up to what they're advertised as 2-0 right now to start the season. All right, so Jeff, I know it's league play is still several weeks away. We're only in week 1 of the high school football season, but when we talked about, on our preview show, we talked about the Sun Belt League and 2 teams that should be in the mix for the title would be Hillcrest and Hemet, both in the Sun Belt League now. A lot of people are excited about the Hemet Bulldogs, like the Hillcrest Trojans, and that's where we're going to go next. We're going to check on Hemet as well. The Bulldogs out in Indio. And you couldn't hear it, but they were doing a little barking. They were barking at the camera.
Because they're the Bulldogs,
That's
bro.
right. And let's go to some of the highlights. You might know Coach Skinner. He was the basketball coach at College of the Desert. He's now at MSJC. Well, his son is the star receiver for the Hemet Bulldogs now. You're a basketball guy. Did you know that?
Coach Skinner. I did not know that at all. But they're in Indio. They're eating a lot of dates, probably.
Probably. Chris Washington, the nice touchdown catch for the Hemet Bulldogs, and that would put them up by a score of 14-0. And then back the other way, it was Key Esel Pitchford making a great play to keep Indio out of the end zone, so some defense there for Hemet. Then the end-around sweep around the left side, right into your camera, then out of the camera, and there he goes. It's going to be a long touchdown run for Hemet 21-zip Bulldogs.
That ref was running fast.
Yeah, you got to keep up with him, right? All right, so we talked about Coach Skinner. Here's his son, Quentin Skinner, big-time receiver for the Hemet Bulldogs, and he's going to come up in the highlights in this next play, and he's going to check it out. He's going to make it look too easy as
it's like a layup.
Yeah.
It's like a layup right there.
It is. He's a basketball star, football star, and Hemet's pretty good. That was our guy Draven playing quarterback for the Bulldogs, and there he goes to Skinner in for the score. It was all Hemet beating the Indio Rajas on Thursday night out there. Final score, I think it was, 47-6?
Did they stop at Hadley's Date Shack or whatever it's called?
I
out
would
there?
have. 45-13, the final score. If you go out to the desert, if you go out to Indio, you got to get a date shake. Right?
Yeah, it's Hadley's, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, well, that's one of them. Yeah, Shields, Hadley.
You know multiple date shops?
It's kind of my thing.
Hey, Pep, you're the date guy.
I'm the date guy, man. I'm the date guy.
I like my dates seasoned.
All right, so there you go. If you're following Hillcrest and Hemet in the Sun Belt League, there you go, back to back right there. All right, next up, I had to call him earlier tonight. Our good friend Jason McMains, the head football coach for the King Wolves.
Wait, you said our good friend. He's your good friend.
Very good friend.
He's not my good friend. I kind of like him.
He's all right.
He's all right in my book. Sometimes. He's an occasional friend. He's very wishy-washy, though.
Well, he's kind of, I don't know if he's real savvy with the computer, because I had to call him up and say, Coach, I'm looking at Max Preps, and I know some of these numbers are wrong, because I know some of these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Pep, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to manually insert my roster. It's not happening, so we had to get a couple numbers over the phone.
You know why? Because he has sausage fingers. They're huge. He can't type. But yeah, Jason McMains, I think the King Wolves are the best team in Riverside so far. Let's see if I'm right.
All right, let's go to the highlights. Could they beat Kaiser tonight? Is Jeff right or is Jeff wrong? Let's play Riverside's favorite game. Is Jeff right or wrong? King with the football. Derek Connon at quarterback hits Mason Miller for the touchdown. 7-zip King, just like that. Then it's going to be Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson has entered the chat, running over that defender and in for the score. Make it 14-0. How about a little defense? Carter Jones, number 4, coming up with the pick for King. That would lead to this. Noah Villarreal in the second quarter makes it 21-0. King. Jeff, you're looking more and more like an expert. That was, Carter Jones on the other pick. This one is going to be Aaron Porter on the pick. Jeff, how about 95 yards? Stays on his feet. How did he do that? Goes in for the score. 28-0. So we saw Carter Jones with a pick, Aaron Porter with a pick, and plenty of offense as Riker Galvin with a nice play trots into the end zone. 35-0 King in front of this Kaiser Cats team. We're not done yet. That was at in the second quarter. So
There's more?
35-zip at halftime. Let's fast forward to the third quarter. Brian Robinson is back in the chat. Goes in for the score, 42-zip. How about one more? Ben Major. Get in there,
names.
Major.
That's the all-name team right there. They all sound like like TV detective names.
49.
Hey, I was right. Look at that. 49. So right now, King is the best team in Riverside, in my opinion. We're going to see King and North next week on Riverside TV.
Can't wait for that one. So King Wolves off to a hot start this season. All right, we got a lot more video still to get to, but Jeff, let's hit the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Check in with some of those big-time games from the Big West Conference. I think we even got some Citrus Belt League in there as well. Couple shockers tonight. Listen, Centennial's not healthy. They're missing several key guys in their secondary, and of course, their five-star Texas A&M commit quarterback Hassan Longstreet. And I know Dominic Catalano is a great backup QB for Centennial. But, man, a tough loss tonight against Santa Margarita.
Yeah,
it's a game I assumed Centennial was going to win.
Yeah, and think about it this way. Before we get into that, let's go back to the last week when they cut the 52-man rosters in the NFL. Five players from Centennial High School just made the NFL rosters. I don't know if there's ever been a public school, other than maybe Long Beach Poly, that have ever done anything like that in one season.
Shocker, yeah. I mean, Centennial's got a long history, a long legacy, but off to a slow start this season. 0-2 to start the year, losing to Mater Dei, and then losing to another Trinity League school in Santa Margarita, 31-15. All right, we'll keep this moving along. Chaparral against Apple Valley. Chaparral, big win, 49-28, and the Pumas moved to 2-0. You know, last week we saw Orange Vista beat Apple Valley. I think it was only by a field goal, so
yes.
that's a big win for the Pumas.
And I believe at halftime it was only a one-point game, but Chaparral, I mean, talk about just coming out the gates. They are fantastic. Coach Raymer has it going on over there.
All right, next up, Marietta Valley. Centennial's not the only team missing their star all-world quarterback. Bear Bachmeyer still not back for the Nighthawks with that knee injury, and they lose tonight 37-17 against another Trinity League school, Servite tonight, Jeff.
Who's the best quarterback to ever play at Servite? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't.
Steve Berline.
Steve Berline. You're going back.
I
know he is. I know he is.
Yeah, he was the best quarterback they ever had. I saw him play. He was a good basketball player too.
Was he?
Yeah, he used to play Olympic Development League with my brother, and they were on the same basketball team. So I knew Steve Berline when he was much younger.
He was one of those journeyman NFL quarterbacks. Had a great long career.
Oh, he had a great career.
Yeah. Vista Murrieta over Murrieta Mesa, 42-9 the final there as the Broncos win. I guess it's kind of a rivalry game. San Juan Hills drops Roosevelt to 0-2 with a 38-3 victory tonight. We'll keep this moving along, guys. Rancho Verde and Great Oak. The Rancho Verde. Eric Zomont win 26-21. Good win there for the Mustangs. Upland against Norco. Norco showing signs of life, doing some good things, but they might have the toughest non-league schedule, maybe outside of Centennial, but they might have the toughest non-league schedule of any local team. They lose to Upland 34-17. Citrus Valley and Etiwanda 27-3. Do not be deceived by this final score because Citrus Valley and Etiwanda are, at least, you know, talent-wise, I think they're about similar. That game should have been and could have been a lot closer. And finally, Yucaipa and Silverado. Yucaipa, 55-37. Coach Price, man, year in and year out, Yucaipa is always strong.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was reading the people saying on the online or the Twitter sphere or whatever, X-sphere or whatever they call it, and they said Yucaipa was going to be down, but they're a one town. They're like Norco used to be, the one town, one team. Everybody supports them, and they just bring in guys every single season.
They certainly do. Big win there for Yucaipa. All right, so let's do this. Let's take our first break of the night. It'll be very, very quick. When we come back, we've got highlights, I think, from like 6 or 7 more games and a lot of more scores to get to as well. For Jeff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez. We didn't really introduce ourselves at the top of the show.
No, we didn't even know the show started.
We just popped on.
I was like poking you. Hey, I think we're on. But
we're here, and we'll be right back after this.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department wants you to know how holidays affect your trash service. Trash pickup will not be available during major holidays and collection times will be adjusted in response. Residents with city trash service will see the following adjustments. For Monday holidays, your Monday collection will happen on Tuesday and Tuesday collections will occur on Wednesdays. For Thursday holidays, Thursday service will occur on Friday and Friday service on Saturday. For Friday holidays, your Friday service will occur on Saturday. Residents served by outside vendors will experience a one-day delay of service for each day after any holiday taking place Monday through Friday. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
And welcome back to the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. That's Jeff Gorham. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in, staying late on a Friday night as we break down all the scores and highlights here in the city of Riverside and beyond. Jeff, I know you're obviously a big fan of King. They're off to a great start. Norda Vista also off to a strong start. And I know Coach Batdorf and some people around the Novi program have said, as good as last year's team was, this year's team has the potential to be as good or even better.
Well, they do, and I'd say that it's just because he the offense he runs, he always has great running backs. I mean, the Elaine brothers and Freddie Holly, there's three of those guys have come through. They had Malesio, who was the greatest running back in the history of the world. But it's a factory of great running backs and a factory of great offensive and defensive lines. I'll tell you what, Kent Batdorf in his 88th year at the helm of Norda Vista, he's got it going on, and I think they're going to start throwing the football a little more.
It's funny you say that because I saw Coach Batdorf before the game, and they were playing on the road at Arroyo Valley, and he's like, you know what, we're going to throw a little bit tonight. We're going to try to open it up.
So
this aerial attack.
Did they throw?
The aerial circus. I don't know. Let's find out. Is Jeff right or is Jeff wrong?
Bollender.
Riverside's favorite show. And this game was not on the surface of the sun. It just felt like it because the sun was like beating down like right in front of, like where you would look. At least from the Norda Vista sideline, you were looking right into the surface of the sun. Arroyo Valley's head coach TJ Stanford right there in the middle of the group as the Hawks were actually playing their first game of the season, Jeff, because their season opener against Pacific. Pacific does not have a team this season. So this was their season opener. All right. Straight to the surface of the sun, Norda Vista with the ball first. First play of the game. They throw it.
Yeah.
Seth Bollender to Jaden Henderson on the completion. And then Bollender going back to Henderson. This is the opening drive for the Braves. Touchdown Novi.
That's Tayshawn Henderson's little brother.
It is, and he's good.
He's very good. There's another one. He's about 2'6", a freshman, who's going to be even better.
All right, so 7-zip Norda Vista. Next offensive drive, it's going to be Bollender to Henderson again. Check out this little move. Scoots to the outside. Big gain for Henderson, and here come the Braves. They are on the move once again. This time, they're actually not going to throw. I know we've been seeing a bunch of passes back to back. It's going to be Dreddy Elaine, or as the announcer at Arroyo Valley says, Dreadai. Dreadai Allen.
What do they call it? The Road Runner.
The Road Runner goes in for the touchdown. 14-zip Norda Vista at that point. Then it's going to be Bollender to Ryan Rodriguez, the big tight end. That's a big fella right there.
That's a huge
Do you
guy.
know Ryan?
Yeah, I couldn't tackle him.
More from the aerial circus at Norda Vista. It's going to be Bollender to Jordan Rivas. And he's going to put that thing in drive and go all the way in for the touchdown. 21-zip at that point for Norda Vista. And the Braves are going to roll to an easy win at Arroyo Valley. 38-17 was the final score. Or, 38-14. And big win for the Braves. It probably could have been worse, but I know Norda Vista. Ken Batdorf, dare I say, is a classy guy? That's fair to say, right?
You might be the only person to ever say that Ken Batdorf is a classy guy. Ken Batdorf, you are the greatest person I know next to my family and Pep, and maybe a few other people, but you do a great job.
There's a long list. Actually, now that I think about it, you're way down there.
But Ken, you're the best, and you are a treasure to Norda Vista High School and the city of Riverside. To say the least.
Braves are 2-0 now, so they're off to a great start this year. All right, one of our local teams from the city of Riverside trying to get their first win of the season. Notre Dame playing on the road at Western Christian. Let's go to some video. Don't have a whole lot, but we want to check out the Titans anyways. Jeff, we were here last week at Western Christian. Remember, we were talking about the train is backed up right against that visitor sideline, and that's Western Christian with a touchdown there to make it a 7-0 game. And then Western Christian would strike again. They built a 13-0 lead on Notre Dame. But what do I always say, Jeff?
I don't know what you.
You can never count out the
never.
Titans.
Never count out.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, that's right. From that
Notre
movie.
Dame would answer a 13-0 game. The Titans punch in their first touchdown. This camera from the surface of the moon, I can't see the numbers,
Yeah.
but Notre Dame scores there to make it a 13-6 game. Sounded like a ball game, but Western Christian in Upland would pull away in this one. Another touchdown here for the Lancers as Western Christian defeats Notre Dame 47-6, the final in that one.
Do you remember that game when we were a kid that was like, it would vibrate? It was the football game, and it would vibrate. That's what that footage looked like.
That's what it looked like.
Just those little tiny little guys, and you'd like never
Yeah,
score.
they like
never,
shake and they like across the field.
Exactly what we saw right there. Was that little football game. But hey, Notre Dame's playing at Wheelock Stadium again this year.
That's right. So the last couple of seasons we've seen them at San Bernardino Valley, but back at Wheelock now that it's what do you call it? Refurbished, redone, remodeled.
You know what I call it? Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I call it just fantastic.
Yeah, so they are back at Wheelock Stadium this season. All right, one of the better games tonight that went down to the wire, Supa Dupa Harupa Valley.
Hugo!
At home against Desert Hot Springs tonight. And our guy Jesus, who did such a great job last week, we said, come on back, let's do it again. Desert Hot Springs at Supa Dupa Harupa Valley, 0-0 at halftime. Third quarter, Robert Lopez for the Jaguars goes in for the touchdown. Harupa Valley on top, 7-0. Late on the ensuing drive, Desert Hot Springs would answer. Ozias Crawford, 53 yards on the touchdown run for Desert Hot Springs. But, Jeff, they did not get the extra point.
No!
So Harupa Valley still led 7-6. Fast forward, about 2 minutes left in this game. So fourth quarter, 2 minutes in the game. Desert Hot Springs with the football, and Donovan Thornton rumbles in for the score. Somehow he is not brought down, in for the touchdown, and that is it. 14-7, Desert Hot Springs over Supa Dupa Harupa Valley.
We can't call him Jesus, you know. You know why?
Why?
Because he is Supernova.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, so our guy is now, so he will be.
I love nicknames. I should just call him Supernova.
He's Supernova because he is as large as the sun.
He does a great job.
He does
Thank you,
awesome.
Jesus, for getting those video clips for us. All right, let's see. Next up, I was waiting for this one. This was the other live game on Riverside TV tonight. California School for the Deaf Riverside taking on Foothills Christian. And Jeff, we love these games because they are so high scoring and the Cubs are so good. Interception, Isaiah Baxter Davis.
3 names.
8-0 CSDR. The ensuing kickoff for Foothills Christian. Josh Hawkins scoops it up. We've got a problem here. He's going to go back the other way for the score. How long's the field? Is it 80 yards?
80
I think
yards.
it's 80 yards, right? In 8-man football. Touchdown there. And then it's going to be Ryder Malkinoff. Foothills Christian's touchdown. 16-13 game at that point. Then it's going to be Gio Visco
He's been
for
around
CSDR. 30-15 CSDR in front. They weren't done yet. It's going to be Little Poppy David Ortiz with the score. 38-15. Foothills Christian got a touchdown there by Luke Bennett, but too much Cubs in this one. Jeff, your favorite player, Darius Zaremka, in for the
Darius
score.
Zaremka, but I will say this: they had 52 points at halftime.
Yeah.
I love 8-man football. It is unbelievable. I've been covering a lot of flag football, Pep. I've been all over the place watching flag football. It is amazing. It's like everybody's eligible to catch the football, but CSDR, our boy John Rice, who called the game on Riverside TV,
Yes.
J.R. Ibarra, he said there were 3 or 4 guys at CSDR that would start on any team in the city. So CSDR coach Adams,
Win Cubs.
win Cubs. Good job defending. Oh, by the way, the team they beat was a CIF champion as well.
Were they really?
So two CIF champions battling it out.
And it wasn't even close.
No, and so they're going to write another Disney movie about this new CSDR team because they're fantastic as well.
It could be a new season, right?
Yeah.
Like a TV series. Each year it could be a different season for the Cubs. I'd be all in. So.
I'm telling you what, I want to go to all those CSDR games. They are fun to watch. If you have never seen 8-man football and you want to see it done right, go to a CSDR game. Support our Cubs, and it's just so much fun. I love seeing them.
Yeah, and they look really good again. They might
gonna
make
win
it
it
another
again.
CIF championship run. Yeah, they are that good. All right, let's see next up. Jeff, we didn't get a date shake the first time around, but let's take you back out to the desert, right?
Oh.
Grand Terrace playing on the road out at Palm Springs in this one. If it was hot out here, I can't imagine how hot it was out
It was
there.
136 degrees.
All right, so Palm Springs had some issues with their field, so this game was actually at Rancho Mirage. Grand Terrace strikes first. Antonio Patterson, the touchdown there for the Titans. But here come the Indians. Koa Rapola in for the touchdown there for Palm Springs. You know, Palm Springs usually got a pretty good team out there. They've had a program that's been pretty strong for a long time. Then it's going to be Bishop Miller, the quarterback, to Rodney Miker for the touchdown. Palm Springs takes the lead 14-7, and they would step on the gas from there. We've got another Palm Springs touchdown. Miller to Sean Meza, shakes off the would-be tackler and goes in for the score. Palm Springs builds the lead. They do enough to hold on, and it would be 33-21 the final score. So Palm Springs winning at Rancho Mirage High School against Grand Terrace. Did you follow that?
I did, but Grand Terrace, you know, I think last week they didn't score, so 21 points, that means they're kind of finding their groove. Maybe our friends down the road here can get a couple wins.
We'll see. Yeah, they are 0-2 right now on the season. All right, so let's go back out to the desert.
Again?
Let's do it again, man. We're already out there. Let's trip link. Let's save on gas. We're already out there, Jeff.
I'm already sweating and thinking about all these desert things. Wow.
Heritage taking on La Quinta, and as we go to the video, remember last week, Heritage beat Elsinore, and we were kind of surprised, right?
21-game losing streak broken last week.
All right, so 4th and long for La Quinta. It would not matter. The quarterback, Ashley, for La Quinta throws the touchdown pass there to number 27. La Quinta didn't have any names with numbers, but that number 27, he's good.
Yeah.
Because there's another one. Another one.
We'll call him Fred.
Yeah, so anyways, Heritage would fall in this game to La Quinta, 42-8. The quarterback for La Quinta, Ashley, is very good, and that receiver number 27 as well. And like Palm Springs, there's a couple programs out there that consistently do well. Palm Desert, La Quinta, Palm Springs, and I know a lot of our teams here in Riverside County, and the IE. We do a lot of back and forth with them in non-league play. Once we get to league play, we kind of separate ourselves. But yeah, during non-league play, we've got some good battles with them.
I woke up this morning at like 5:15, and my wife said, "Hey, Heritage lost." No joke. That was the first thing that came out of her mouth. She must have looked at her phone and the Menifee today or whatever, and she said,
Menifee today.
She said Heritage lost. Hey, thanks. She goes, "You gonna use that tonight?" Yeah, sure.
I might, yeah, thanks for that one.
Thanks.
All right, 42-8, La Quinta over Heritage in that one. All right, all right. Well, I guess we're still staying kind of out in the desert a little bit.
Oh,
Have you been to 29 Palms?
Yeah, unfortunately. I want to go back to the Desert Hot Springs thing. When are you and I going to go out and sit in one of those hot pools? You ever been in the Desert Hot Springs Resort?
No.
Oh, I think you and I should go. We can put on our Speedos, and Pep and I can.
You did do an inland sports show from your pool.
I did.
So that has happened.
Yeah. I did. No, we should go to the hot springs. Okay, let's go back out to 29 Palms. I did go out there. I killed a bat there once.
You did?
I did. When I was a little kid, we used to have this big tournament out in 29 Palms, an all-star tournament, because, I was an all-star.
Of course.
And here's the deal. We spent the night, and it was at the Air Force Base. I think it's Air Force. Are they Air Force, Marines, or something?
I think it's Marines.
Marines, yeah, Marines. So we're sleeping in the gym floor, and we go outside, and I grabbed a rock. And there was bats flying around. They were all over the place. And I threw a rock, and I killed a bat. I did. I was maybe in 5th grade or something.
What is it? Is it like radar or sonar? What do they use? They somehow track the objects in the air.
Well, I heaved the rock as hard as I could. And then people said, well, he might become a serial killer. He killed a bat. But no, there was bats all over the place. And I just happened to hit one up. So all of my buddies growing up, it's like, Jeff killed a bat in 29 Palms.
Well, besides bats, they've got football out in 29 Palms as well.
No, they don't either. They got a lot of bats.
Jason, let's do this thing. Let's take out the 29 Palms, taking on Canyon Springs in this one. And it was a huge game for Canyon Springs quarterback, Angel Robles. He passed for 370 yards and 6 touchdowns in this game. He found 5 different receivers, so he was spreading that ball all around for the Cougars. In fact, through the first 2 games of the season, your boy Angel Robles, 610 passing yards, 9 total touchdowns as Canyon Springs would win on the road at 29 Palms, 40-22 the final. So that was their first win of the year.
My wife is a Canyon Springs graduate. This is you're supposed to say it like it's Mobile. Mobile. Hey, Mobile.
Is that what they do?
Or live long and prosper.
Back to football,
Okay,
right, Jason? Let's do this. I think we got a scoreboard coming up here before we hit another break. Let's go to the scoreboard again. Looks like we've got some Raincross Conference schools to tell you about. Temecula Valley beating Elsinore 20-7. Nice win there for the Golden Bears, and the Tigers fall to 0-2. Rubidoux, 14-zip against Citrus Hill. Jeff, I had not seen this score until right now. That's kind of a nice win, as I know Ron Gehringer, great coach, but trying to get the Hawks going in the right direction.
And the second most, what does he call it? What does Coach Pat Thompson call himself?
Oh, Riverside's most interesting man.
Well, he's not the most interesting Pat Thompson. His dad is.
Big win for Rubidoux. Congrats,
yes,
Coach.
Good job.
I got a text from Eric Galliano at San Jacinto. All it says is 42-28, the Jack. Tigers get their first win of the season, 42-28 against a good Culver City team. What's Culver City's mascot? Is it the Cavemen? I think it's the Cavers or Cavemen or something.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I've never been to even Culver. I don't even know where it is.
The Jack wins. Oh, Orange Vista and Downey. So the last time I saw this score earlier tonight, Orange Vista was in the lead. I don't know how this one played out, but Downey wins 33-26. So, and Downey's good. It's tough playing on the road. I thought Orange Vista was going to get them in this one.
You know what Downey High School is famous for? You know who their most famous alumni is?
Steve Berline's brother.
No.
No.
Karen Carpenter and her brother, the other Carpenters. Remember the singers?
The Carpenters?
The Carpenters went to Downey High School.
I don't. Jeff, I'm a country guy. Are they pop or what were they?
Hey, it's only just begun to leave. How are you not a Carpenters fan? They went to Downey.
Tahquitz over Lakeside, 36-zip the final score as the Titans moved to 1-1. Lakeside 0-2.
There's my team right there, the
over
Bison.
Sultana. Did you get a little phone update this morning on your Liberty Bison?
No.
That they won?
No.
2-0.
Hey, well, that's my team. I told you they're going to win the whole world championship this year because the Gorham boys are going to be there. We're going to own that school pretty soon.
All right, so Liberty's in the Ivy League, so is Vista Del Lago, beating Valley View 28-21.
Wow.
But my takeaway from this was Valley View's going in the right direction. Vista Del Lago is very good, so to lose by a touchdown, that's pretty good for the Eagles.
Yeah, real good. But why all the names start with V out there?
Vista Del Lago, Valley View.
Yeah, they're all V's.
MV, life for life.
Yeah, look at that. There's the Mobile Canyon Springs.
And that's the game you just saw, 40-22. You know, you can't write the number 2 and 9 on 29 Palms. You have to write it out with letters, 29 Palms.
We're not grammatically correct here.
We try, man. We really try.
Put 2-9 and then put up some trees.
Paloma Valley 21-7 against Moreno Valley. The Wildcats get the win. Coach Juan Marita texted me. I don't know if it's when they show the fist, is it like, hey, yeah, we're strong, or is it like I'm giving you a fist bump? You know what I'm talking about? It looks like is that our last score for this one, Jason? Okay, so when I do this, look, if you're on camera 1, I got the emoji where you just go like this. Does that mean like we did it, we're strong, yeah, or like, hey, I'm giving you knuckles, we did it, like.
Or hey.
So, hey. Coach Marita, congrats.
Hey, good job, Marita. I shaved my knuckles.
Congrats, yeah. Yeah,
you're right.
Bats singing the Carpenters, who I've never heard of.
How do you not know the Carpenters? I mean,
man.
I was talking to Nick Rice tonight.
I heard.
Oh, here's one. My guy, my partner Nick Rice tonight. The Chick-fil-A. He said, "Look, the Chick-fil-A panda is down in the audience." And I looked at him. I said, "What?" He said, the Chick-fil-A panda. I said, eat more panda. That's a cow, my friend. That's not a panda. Have you ever eaten a Chick-fil-A? And he was like, no. But yes.
What?
Yeah, he also doesn't know. He said his favorite group was the Beatles. And
I heard you say, what's your favorite song? And he's like,
he did come up with Ringo Starr, so he is a little better. But yes, eat more panda.
I'm going to. This sounds actually really good right now. All right. What's that, Jason? Okay, so we're going to hit commercial like we were scheduled to. When we come back, more scores, and we're going to look ahead to week number 2. We'll be right back here on the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection, or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
And we're back. Our goal is to get you out of here by midnight or sooner, right? We're trying to get as many scores and highlights to you here on this week 1.
I'm going to bring my jammies next week. I'm telling you. But you know what I wear to bed, Pep?
What do you wear to bed?
Yeah, I'm bringing my jammies.
But to be honest, I've never thought about it.
Well, we've shared a room many times.
We have.
You know what? You know what I wear to bed, guys? Nothing. I'm going to bring my jammies next week.
A pajama edition of the Pep Rally.
Pajama edition. Last week I had my Hawaiian shirt and my funky shoes. Maybe I'll bring my pajamas, or pajamas, as my mom would say. Pajamas. What do you say, pajamas or pajamas?
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 I think I say pajamas.
I say pajamas. What do you guys say? Pajamas or pajamas? You let me know. Let me know.
Hit us up in the chat.
Hit us up in the chat.
Pajamas
or pajamas or pajamas.
All right, more scores to get to here before we close out week number 1. Paloma Valley, Moreno. I think we just had that one because remember we were going over the knuckles. Like, is that like good job, or is that like, hey, give me knuckles?
I like Paloma.
Fist bump me. All right, Paloma Valley 21-7. You saw some highlights from this one. Notre Dame did score.
They did.
It was a 1-possession game, but Western Christian pulls away 47-6. The final there. Jay Serra beating Aquinas. Jeff, Jay Serra beat Sierra Canyon last week and Aquinas this week. That's another dude. That Trinity League is brutal.
Yeah, Jay Serra, man. They beat Sierra Canyon.
Yes.
Isn't that where Bronny James went?
Bronny
James went there. Wow, Jay Serra, pretty good. But Aquinas, 0-2 to start. That's a tough one.
And I think they've got Citrus Valley coming up. It's coming up in a week or two, I think. It might be as early as next week.
Is Brute going to wear, what color is Citrus Valley?
They do a lot of gold and white.
Do you think he would wear gold pants? Remember he used to wear the red pants?
At Rev. Yeah, he was not afraid.
Coach, bring out the gold pants.
He'd go for it. All right, Patriot and Serrano. The Warriors falling to Serrano 35-14, the final there. Desert Hot Springs and Jurupa Valley. You saw some highlights on that one. Went down to the wire. Desert Hot Springs winning 14-7. San Gorgonio at Ontario, 43-6. The Spartans moved to 2-0.
Yeah, they're 2-0, and they probably ate some stinky kimchi. Good job there, Coach.
They probably did.
I love Coach Chaddock. He's all over the place.
Hey, stop what you're doing. The Steelers are 2-0 right now. Fontana does it again. Faux High beating Indian Springs 30-0. So the Steelers are on the move, Jeff. Watch out for Faux High.
Did they reopen the steel factory?
They probably did.
Man, I remember going there as a kid. They used to have the best snack bar in the world. I'm telling you.
At Fontana High School?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. My dad would take me to those games, and we'd watch. Was it Coach Brook was over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad would talk to him. I always felt like Coach Brook was like my hero.
Did they serve panda, or is it not on the snack? Was not on the snack bar list?
They had a seared panda.
A panda combo. Paris beating A.B. Miller 32-0, like Faux High. Keep an eye on the Panthers. They're now, remember, they left the Mountain Pass League. They're now in the Inland Valley League. The Panthers are a real threat. 32-0 against A.B. Miller tonight. Cathedral City against San Bernardino, as I like to say, Cat City against Cardinal City. And Cardinal
Ooh.
City wins 28-20.
Wow, San Bernardino. I want to go check out that. Don't they have a new stadium and stuff in the last couple of years?
New field, yeah.
New
like
field?
Novi, like, new
Nice.
turf, new field, yeah.
I like the smell of dirt, though. I miss it at Novi.
I do too, to be honest. Victor Valley and Rialto. It's Rialto coming up short, 22-15. Colton against
Wainimi!
Hueneme, 31-7. Yellow Jackets falling.
What is Wainimi's nickname?
The Sailors?
I don't know.
Is it on the ocean, on the coast?
I don't know. Fort Wainimi?
Yeah, isn't it?
Maybe. I
I
don't
think
know.
it is.
The Sailors.
Bloomington and Corona. The Bruins. It's the first time I've seen this score actually as well. 42-40. So Bloomington gets their first win of the season in a shootout with the Panthers. Summit and Chino, 33-zip. Summit wins. Jeff, Summit's pretty good this year. And next week, Summit versus Beaumont. That might be the game.
Oh, look at Jeff Steinberg versus Matheny.
Yeah, as Coach Matheny, and he's on the Inland Sports Show
I saw
this
that.
week.
I saw him.
He said he can't wait to play the Fighting Steinbergs. That's what he called them.
The Fighting Steinbergs.
The Fighting Steinbergs.
Hey, Steinberg, stop. If Steinberg, you're watching us, I texted you last week. He ate like a quad or a 4x4 from In-N-Out.
Oh, yeah.
He's always posting pictures of
Yeah.
food he gives his
or like
daughters.
special cake from Canada. Like he imports like
And-
this
and-
special pastry.
And then
cake.
every year on his daughter's birthdays, he
Donuts,
has
right?
donut cake. See, how do we know these things?
Yeah.
Stop eating all that meat there, Coach.
Palmdale and Eisenhower, 35-14. Ike falls to 0-2. That was the last one, Jason. Oh, don't sleep on Carter. Get that Carter score in there. They lost to Granite Hills, 39-22.
Novi's going to play Granite Hills pretty soon. I think they play Bohai as well.
Do they?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, Granite
I know they
Hills is
play
not
Granite
bad.
Hills.
So we'll see. All
They
right.
play Great Oak too. That's a good one. Novi, Great Oak.
Oh, Novi plays Great Oak?
Yes, they do.
That is a good game.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Is that their last non-league game before they go into River Valley, or no?
I don't know. It's in the next three. It's in the next three games. I know that.
Are they
so-
playing next? Yeah, it's
in
the
next three.
season.
It's
okay.
sometime. Yeah.
All right, that's week one. It's never too early to look ahead. So let's take a look at week number 2 for our Riverside teams and some of the other big games in the area.
I knew they played Fontana
Oh,
too.
you didn't even see that graphic yet. You already knew.
Yeah, I did.
Fohai against Novi. Look at that. 2-0 teams. That's actually a good matchup.
I hope so.
Braves and Steelers.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got? Xavier Prep against Notre
No.
Dame. We'll see if the Titans can get their first win of the season in this parochial rivalry.
No, it would be Xavier.
Xavier Prep
Xavier Prep versus the Titans.
from Palm Desert. JW North and King, man.
I'll be on
King's
that
on a roll. King's on a roll. They're going to be tough to stop right now. They're 2-0. The Huskies are 0-2. Let's see. We have one more Thursday night special. That'll be La Sierra. The Eagles trying to get their first win as they take on Saddleback. Those are the Thursday night games. Also next week, Jeff, this might be the granddaddy of them all. It's not the Rose Bowl. It's Ramona versus Hillcrest. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's right. I think we have that game.
Is that a Riverside TV game?
I think so.
Is it,
I mean,
Scott?
I'm doing 3 games next week.
Scott will look back there. He's got a whole team of very smart people.
There's like
that can
100
figure
people
that out.
back there.
Yeah,
They're
so-
not doing anything but eating Panda or
Panda Express.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, eat more Panda.
Arlington versus Lakeside. The Lions are 1-1. Lakeside 0-2 right now. Riverside Poly will take on Sultana next week. The Bears picking up a win tonight.
Yes, they're going to win again.
Avalon from Catalina, right?
Yeah.
Catalina Island. Will take on CSDR. That's a long way to. Not that I'm predicting that they're going to lose bad, but they might lose bad. That's a long ways
Yeah.
to go to play a very good CSDR team.
Yeah, the Cubs are going to whoop them. Oh, this is a good one.
This is a really good one.
Is this the
Jason's-
granddaddy?
Jason's saying they're going to live stream this one at Vista Murrieta, so we're going to have highlights of this one on the Friday Night Pep Rally next week. So Vista Murrieta 2-0, Orange Vista trying to bounce back after losing to Downey tonight. That between Summit versus Beaumont and Orange Vista versus Vista Murrieta, those might be the 2 biggest games in all the IE next week.
And I believe that we might be starting the Red Zone show with John Rice, and that could be our game we could stream.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, it'd be a great
very good one. We just mentioned Beaumont against Summit. Both teams 2-0 to start the season. And one more. Oh, I was right. Aquinas and Citrus Valley will play next week. It's weird. Neither team has a win this season, although Citrus Valley played their opener against Etiwanda last night. But someone's going to get their first win.
He just took my thing. I was going to say,
sorry.
I bet somebody was going to win one. Win the first one.
But that's actually a really two great teams.
Now, are we getting close? Because we have to talk about the big one, which is the national champion RCC Tigers. We're going to have that on Saturday afternoon. It'll be a 12 or 1 o'clock game. We'll let you know later on this week. But national champion versus Long Beach City College at Wheelock Stadium.
Yeah, coming off the championship, in fact, I was talking to someone tonight about, Eddie Elaine.
Eddie Elaine, he's playing over at
Eddie
RCC.
Elaine he was at Southern Utah.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. So let's backtrack just a little bit. He was at Norte Vista, star running back.
Yes.
Went Division I to Southern Utah, and they moved him. I didn't know this. They moved him to defense. He was playing safety.
Yes, and so he's gonna get his shot to play. There's a lot of Riverside guys on this roster this year at RCC. We saw about Western Christian. They have 4 guys on the roster.
Did they
from
really?
Last year's Western Christian. But Coach Kraft, the greatest coach in the history of JC football, we're going to see the debut of this new team next week.
So look for Eddie Elaine. Man, he was name dropping some guys too. Now I'm drawing. Is it Divine Pearson? Is he the running back from Chaparral? He's going to be the running back for the Tigers.
But you know who else is the running back for the Tigers this year? The great Bo Bruins.
Oh, he's back. He's healthy.
He's back.
Oh,
His knee is repaired.
on.
So yeah, the Tigers
on.
looking. I'm going to break something out this next week that we're going to show. I got a big gift from RCC this year.
Oh.
Yeah, and we haven't shown it yet, but I'm going to wear it next week because I am part of that crew. And wait till you see what I got to show you guys.
All right, so we've talked pandas, we've talked bats. Jeff is saying, I think that's enough for me. That's enough football for me. I'm done.
Yes, and I got to say, my guy, our friend, Luke Garrett, we always love hearing from you. So Luke Garrett, the great guy over at UC Riverside, super fan from King High School. I want to give him a shout out because I love him.
Is he staying up late tonight?
He's always up watching us, Pep. You know, we have a few fans. Maybe one. It might be Luke Garrett, but we do have a couple.
We're big in 29 Palms.
We're huge.
We're big.
Huge.
We're big out in the desert. All right, that's it for Jeff Gorham. I'm Pep Fernandez, Scott Brocious, and his entire Riverside TV team. It was a weird show tonight, but we got through it. In fact, I think we had like a dozen or maybe 13 games and all the scores. So, yeah, Jason said, it was a lot. Yeah.
Pajama week next week?
Pajamas.
Pajama week.
All right, we'll see you next Friday night on your favorite show, the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV.